I'm heading off on another solo trip and I'm taking along a surprising travel companion, ChatGPT. It's not a person, but it feels like one sometimes. As a senior traveler, I like the freedom of traveling on my own, but I also appreciate having someone, or in this case, something, that I can rely on for advice, ideas, or even just a bit of company along the way. I'll share some of the ways that I find ChatGPT to be a helpful friend while I'm traveling. And later, I'll give a simple guide on how to use it and have a conversation with it if you haven't tried it yet. Even if you have already experimented with ChatGPT, there may be a tip or two that helps you. Back in the day, and it really wasn't that long ago, when I traveled, I might spend hours searching through websites or flipping through guidebooks. Websites then became the go to for learning about communities or building itineraries, but even that has changed. Now, when I want quick, clear answers, ChatGPT has become my pocket tour guide and travel planner. It saves me time, reduces stress, and gives me more confidence exploring new places on my own. Before I leave home, I use ChatGPT to help put my plans together. It can suggest how to spend 2 days exploring a city, compare the best ways of getting from one destination to another, or help me decide where to stay. For example, before traveling to Bangkok, I wanted to know the options for getting from the airport to my hotel. I asked ChatGPT, and it laid out taxis, Grab, that's the most popular rideshare app in Thailand, and detailed public transport routes. It told me exactly where to buy tickets, how to make the transfers, how long each route would take, and roughly what it would cost. That kind of detail made me much more confident about using public transportation once I arrived. Or if I'm tired and I just want to go straight to my hotel, I can let ChatGPT handle that too. It's created a printable card in Thai and English that I can show to a taxi driver or use with a rideshare app. It even includes the phonetic pronunciation so I can try saying it myself. I never thought I'd be able to hand a driver a note in Thai asking to be taken to my hotel and have them instantly understand. How cool is that? And once I'm traveling, ChatGPT is just as handy. If I'm walking through the city, I might ask, as a local expert, tell me the history of this fountain. Or what local dishes should I try while I'm visiting Bologna, Italy? Sometimes I'll take a photo of a building or a statue, and ChatGPT helps me to identify it. If I say, tell me the history of this building in Rome, it usually gives me a short, helpful explanation rather than just a label. I usually pop in my earpods so I can talk with it as I walk, almost like having a guide at my side without disturbing anyone around me. The app keeps a record of our conversation so I can read it later or replay a section if I want to double check something. Travel always has little puzzles. What are the opening hours of a museum? Or is this ATM going to charge a fee? Or what's the polite way to say thank you in Thai? ChatGPT handles those small but important details. It won't carry my bag or hail a taxi, but it certainly helps me feel more prepared. Now, I will admit, ChatGPT is very good and it's getting better, but it's not perfect. Sometimes it gives an answer that sounds confident but isn't quite right. If I'm about to rely on something important, like directions, prices, or where to catch a specific train, I take a moment to confirm. I might check the official website or simply ask at my hotel desk. It's the same common sense we've always used when traveling. Trust, but verify. One of the things that I value most is how reassuring it feels to have information instantly available. It's like having a calm, knowledgeable companion who never minds another question. Another small thing that makes a big difference, I often ask ChatGPT how to say simple phrases like please, thank you, or excuse me in the local language. Using those words earns a smile almost everywhere. ChatGPT can even translate back and forth in real time. With a few simple instructions, you can have a spoken conversation in another language, listening to the translation through your earpods and replying in your own voice. I'm looking forward to trying that out when I'm in Thailand later this month. Solo travel can be wonderful, but sometimes it's nice to feel that you have a bit of company. ChatGPT has become a conversational companion when I'm waiting in airports or sitting in a park or planning for my dinner. It's not quite the same as having a friend beside me, but it's surprisingly pleasant to have someone to chat with about what I'm seeing or what I might do next. Don't worry, we're not in a relationship yet. Now, some folks may think that all this must be complicated. Well, it isn't. If you can send a text message, you can use ChatGPT. I've made a short 3-minute guide on how to download the app, open it, and ask a question, and even speak to it out loud. I'll walk you through that step by step, including how I use it with earpods hands free when I'm walking around a new city. Using ChatGPT is pretty simple. Find it on your App Store and download it to your device. The first time you use it, you'll have to register, but it's free. When you open the app, you'll be presented with a page that looks like this. You can start a new chat by just clicking on the ChatGPT icon in the upper left, or you can just start typing your question in the Ask ChatGPT box at the bottom of the page. Remember that unlike Google searching, this is like having a conversation, and you can expand it by asking further questions as you go along in the little Ask ChatGPT box at the bottom. Your chat will be saved in the box over at the left-hand side of the page, and you can go back to it anytime if you want to review it. For example, I asked ChatGPT to recommend restaurants that were close to where my hotel was going to be on the day of my arrival in Bangkok, places where I could get a picture of the sunset over the city and tell me what time the sunset would occur on that day so I could be there at the right time. It gave me 5 different suggestions and what these restaurants were like, and even told me that I should plan to arrive around 5:15 if I wanted to catch the sunset. I can scroll back through this answer to see it at my leisure, or if I wanted to have it read to me, I just click on this little speaker icon, and here's what I'll get.
Jack's Bar. It's very casual. Reviews say people often walk in without reservation and get seated fairly quickly.
And if you don't really want to type in your question, you can actually press on this little icon in the bottom right, and it will open up a page that looks like this. The little blue ball in the center will be pulsating, and you'll be able to just carry on a conversation with ChatGPT, the same as if you were typing. Let ChatGPT be your guidebook. If you're out walking somewhere and you come across some structure or building or place that you want to know about more, you can take a picture of it, and using the little plus sign down by the Ask ChatGPT bar, you can upload that picture to ChatGPT and then ask a question like, tell me the history of this cathedral in Milan. It will quickly spit out the answer that you want, and as before, if you want it to tell you this rather than just read it, here's what will happen.
This is the Milan Cathedral, or Duomo di Milano, one of Europe's most magnificent Gothic churches and one of Italy's most iconic landmarks.
For senior travelers especially, ChatGPT is worth trying. It makes travel easier, less stressful, and more enjoyable. And if you want to learn more about it, there are lots of YouTube videos that can outline how to use it for so many other things. I also use it for packing lists, learning about local customs and tipping, and planning my day in a new city. I can say, here are the 5 sites I want to see in Lisbon. Arrange them in an order that makes sense for walking, and it will group things that are close together, suggest when to pause, and even recommend a good cafe along the way. It's not just a planner, it's become part of how I travel now. At this stage in my life, I'm not looking for more hassle. I'm looking for things that make travel simpler and richer. ChatGPT does that for me. It takes some of the worry out of logistics and gives some of the joy back to discovery. For me, ChatGPT has become a reliable travel companion, one that helps me plan, keeps me informed, and even offers me a bit of company. Traveling solo doesn't mean traveling alone anymore. Would you use ChatGPT as your travel companion? Let me know in the comments. Safe travels. See you next time.